Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having an amazing week so far. Listen, hi. That's it really. I am doing a reaction video for you today. Of course, why wouldn't I be? And I haven't done a reaction to this certain channel for a long time. Myself and my brother did a few like recreating certain hacks from this channel over on our joint channel. Which I'll link below for you all. But I haven't like sat down and just analysed them deeply for, for a little while. So that's what we are doing today. We are looking at 5-minute crafts. Now, I don't, how would you explain 5-minute crafts to someone who's never seen it before? Actually, let you do that. Leave below in the comments. How would you explain 5-minute craft hacks to someone who's never seen it before? I don't, you will see if you never watched a 5-minute craft video before. Just before we get into that today, if this is your first time here on my channel, hi, my name's Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life. And it's my goal to help you become a pro yourself or just someone who's really good at makeup. And sometimes that means separating what we see online versus how well it translates into real life and kind of taking a look at these makeup hacks and techniques, these Instagram, these TikTok, these YouTube techniques that are kind of just more for the views rather than the actual good information. And some people may say there's no rules to makeup. I would say there's no rules to creativity and individuality, but makeup has a theory, and if you wish to learn that theory, then please stick with me. If not, keep doing what you're doing. Sometimes what we see online just doesn't work for everyone, and that's where makeup theory comes in. Why it's not working, how come it's not working, they're the same thing. You know what I mean. Anyway, okay, should we just do it? Should we just get into it? Get ready to see me pissed, okay? No, you know what? I'm gonna try and be like, you know what? It's just for entertainment purposes only, okay? This video is called 33 Best Makeup Hacks of All Time. We're not gonna look at all 33, of course, and I bet you not all the hacks in this video are makeup hacks. They always do this. They just recycle all the stuff from before. 5-minute crafts, let's go. Pressing play now. Stop. And then she's doing hair. I know nothing about hair. Listen, there's something really nice about a look that's created with just a pencil that you smoke out and you smudge. Here's the thing with black pencils. First of all, it depends on the quality of black pencil. You can get some really awful ones and actually some really high priced ones. And actually some really high priced ones. Smolder from MAC is an example of a pencil I absolutely despise because it's black, it's pitch black. But as soon as that smudges, it gets this green, weird kind of like color to it. So black is maybe not the safest color to smudge with your fingers and be so like indirect with. No, that's not the word. You kind of want more precision when you're smudging a black pencil. If this was a brown pencil, I'd be like, yeah, cool, fine, because you can't see the mistakes as much. But smudging it like that, first of all, that's not what happened. This is what you'll notice with 5-minute crafts. I'll do something and it will cut and it will look perfect, like this bottle top we just saw here. It's a round circle. That's not the shape of her lid. It's not the shape that was already there when we cut to it. It doesn't work. And let me just say something right before we go into this. People think, watching this, and you would think, right, surely people don't look at this and take it as genuine advice. I've had clients that have been like, why aren't you using a spoon to do my cut crease? Why aren't you using a fork to do my nose? Why aren't you using a knife to contour? The whole kitchen. Honestly, you would not believe some of the stuff. Okay, let's see what's next, shall we? Don't do it. So I have no doubt in my mind they were already stuck on her lid. Here's why. Because with false lashes, you have to get them directly stuck right onto the lash line. right up in there. Now, I don't know about all of you, but my eyes are not perfectly shaped like this. They're not perfectly round, they're not perfectly cut. Actually, they go down slightly in the outside corners. So if I was to clamp a lash in this and then try and stick it on like that, I actually wouldn't get the inside corners correct. I wouldn't get the outside corners correct, and it'll be stuck everywhere. It'll be awful. So again, this is why you don't use things like spoons, lash curlers, things that have a certain shape, a fixed shape on eyes, because everybody's eye shape is different and it doesn't work. 5-minute crafts, you sneaky assholes. Okay. It's absolutely fine to mix products in with your foundation, first of all. Just bear in mind it's going to change the texture, maybe the finish and longevity of a product. I to If you have your foundation that dark for your personal skin tone, adding like the creaminess to it first of all is adding, it's just shearing it down. It's not really changing the color. Yes, it looks white, but face cream isn't literally the color white. There's no white pigmentation to it, so it's not actually brightening. So you might end up with an odd tone, but I mean, it's not the worst thing that 5-minute crafts can do. We'll give them that. By the way, I'm watching this video and cutting out the bits that aren't really relevant, and I've just watched them make leg waxing strips out of an old pair of jeans. But why? It's why this is a great thing. It looks like, oh my gosh, she looks up and then it leaves that mark. And I know there was that kind of viral video of that person, someone doing it, and it left like a cut crease, which is a great tip if you want to making a cut crease easier. But all she did was color in her eyelids. Why do you need that hack? Like, you can do it, but why do you need? Everyone knows where their eyelids start and stop. Come on. Listen, we have some blending to do. Do we not? Look at that. That is crazy. Here's why I find with contouring, right, I like to add a little bit at a time. I don't like to draw it on the face where I want it, because you almost want to blend that contour into position. Otherwise, you're just keeping it in one place. That's when we get the solid line and the shape. We want shape, yes, we want definition, but we want it to appear soft and shadow-like. Like, it's okay to have a strong contour, but gradually build it up. Otherwise, you get that sharp line. So if I was to do this myself, I would take the contour cream on a brush and gradually add that shadow. Don't do a strip and then have to push it into place. Do you see what I mean? When you're blending, you're moving the product around, whereas when you're just drawing it on, you then just have to keep it in that place and you get that too strong of a contour. Also, one thing I've noticed while I'm editing is that they've actually used the same shade of contour, the same product, all over her neck. Her whole neck is covered in this product. So I think they've done that to give the illusion that it's actually blending better, when actually it doesn't blend very well at all. But can you imagine that shape without the whole neck being the same colour? And nobody contours their whole neck or uses that same shade, and also her neck looks really red. This is why contour shouldn't be a red tone, undertone. It needs to be grayer in tone, not completely grey. We don't want a grey face. But you can see that they've coloured in her whole neck. So no one would do that. It's such a vast difference between her neck shade and the shade of her actual face. So let's take a look at this, right? They drew a natural, and this is 5-minute crafts. You really get me. You really get me. Here's the thing, but it's with online always. We always see these videos of people drawing loads of shapes on, and then if we, for example, she drew this kind of like snake-like shape, and then we look at the nose, and actually it's just two lines. So why did we do that snake thing? And then you're going to get people like copying, thinking it's beneficial when it's not. And actually, if anything, the weird kind of shape they made with that nose is really strange. Also, she has a really nice nose. It's just, I just hate them so much. Okay. Oh, oh, holy. So, first of all, if that eyeshadow is good enough to be a highlighter, just use it as a powder highlight. If you want it to look like shinier, like silkier, I would take off the eyeshadow, crust some off, scrape some off, and mix it with like a hydrating mist, and then use that if you want that shade. Mixing it with your fountain. Here's the thing, and you see these videos a lot now online of people mixing clear powder with a foundation to make it fuller coverage, which you can absolutely do, but bear in mind the texture. How is that going to settle? How is that going to sit? How does it sit on pores? How does it sit on textured skin? It's not the same for everyone. So like, I see people be like, did you know you can mix powder with foundation? Do it, but be wary. Once the texture of a liquid foundation settles, you might risk having a weird streaky texture on the skin. So be careful when you're mixing products with your foundation out of powder. Not so much. What I was going to say, but powder foundations mixed with like a setting spray is really good to make them fuller coverage and lasting longer. Just foundations have more ingredients in them to deal with skin types and skin textures. So it's a different thing. Let me hydrate because I'm getting like a clammy mouth. That looks Halloween-esque, doesn't it? Doesn't that look like paint, like face paint? Here's why no. So, okay, here's again with contour, and now especially on this area, if you're not going to put like a base down, if you're not going to do like a bit of body foundation or something, there's a lot of color going on here. You can have redness here, you can have veins, you can have pigmentation spots, you know. So to just go straight on with a very like red tone contour and blend that in just kind of adds to the discoloration of that area. I personally, if somebody wanted me to contour their neck and chest area, I would lay down the tiniest amount of foundation, smallest amount, but I was happy maybe wouldn't transfer onto the clothing, but we would talk about that and assess the situation. But yeah, you need that base down, otherwise you get this weird color going on. A contour powder would be better for that. So listen, we all know white lash glue dries clear. Here's why. I mean, that looks like it could be a good hack because you get black lash glue. Like, why wouldn't it? Think about, so the lash glues that we use on our eyelashes are made to be like water resistant, oil resistant, sweat resistant, all that kind of stuff that keeps it on the lid. If you're gonna mix it with an eyeliner which is broken down by oil-based makeup remover, oil comes through our eyelids, especially if you're not gonna use an eye base, it's gonna break that down easier. So that is not going to hold for very long, or if it does happen to work, it's still going to break down the color and the pigmentation off the liner in the glue. So you're going to get smudging, you're going to get black smudges coming everywhere. These people, tell me, have you ever tried a 5-minute craft hack where you were like, actually that looks kind of good, and then tried it and it ruined your life? Let me know. I'm not sure how that would give you any more precision over the applicator that comes. But I mean, You can see the difference in the way she applied it. Like if you go in with a thing and you're not that good at applying your lip product and you're like this, of course you're going to mess up slightly. Like take it slower. But with that, she was buffing and gently patting, so of course it's different. Stop lying to everyone. Do you know this video has 1,854,355 views? Dried eyeshadow. Not dry anyway. Oh, maybe like a cream. No. No. Listen, I have oh, it carries on, it keeps going. Oh. So she was going to wear a red lipstick, but she settled it on basically a clear balm with a tiny tint of colour. What happened before? I blocked it out of my mind already. Okay, so her eyeshadow dried out. What? Okay, so I'm guessing it was a cream eyeshadow. Here's why you don't put face oil. Well, you can, but if you want your eyeshadow to last a long time and not crease easily, you don't put face oil in with your eye products because oily, greasy, really fucking greasy. If you put oil then in with that product, is yes, it might have a nice oily slick shine for what, like 20 minutes, but then you're going to get all those lines and all those creases, which is actually quite a nice look sometimes if that's what you're going for, but it's going to make everything else smudge as well. If you're wearing mascara, the oil is going to drip down. Your lashes act like a little slide for that oil to slide down. When you blink, it's transferring down here. Now you've got dark smudges under here, all because of oil. This is why eyeshadow bases are so important. In life, in general, let's go. And of course, now I have to try and find another video from them to fill up this video because it said 33 best makeup hacks of all time, and half of them were about clothes and hair, so you're liars. What? What? I don't get it. I'm pretty sure we don't need guidance to do half at half. And then was it saying that it will make your eyes green by putting the color that is directly opposite it? Is that what it was saying? That will make the color stand out off your eyes more? Stop. Stop. As if you fuck up your lipstick that much that you need that much guidance and that much of a like, oh, just in case. I just can't deal. But then, oh, okay, you know what? Okay, carry on. Carry on. Oh, even she wasn't that impressed. That was really fake. That in no way in hell is that what they just did. That is a pencil. Okay, coconut oil first of all in the brows, slipping. Let's just say oil. Oil around the eyes, not a good idea. Not a good idea in any way at all. Also, was that coffee? That's actually not a bad idea. That's how I do my lip palette for my kit. So lipsticks that I cut a bit off and I put them in the tray and I microwave it and it melts and makes a whole palette. So I mean, you don't have to do it. Carry your lipstick around with you, you know. How much would someone have to pay you to be one of the people in this video? 'Cause, I mean, they get a lot of money. I can see by their views. 5 Minute Crafts are getting a lot of money. Lip balm on the eyes. Again, too much oil and moisture. If you want that hint of colour on your lip from an eyeshadow, you can literally tap it on and you're good. You don't need to mix it with a lip balm. I mean, that's what happens when you wash off your fake freckles. First of all, there's nothing wrong with freckles. I love them. Everyone loves them. I know some people with them don't like them at all, and then you get the people that don't have them who love to draw them on, so you can't win, really. Freckles isn't a case of adding hydration to the skin or vitamins or any of that kind of stuff. That's never going to work. Okay, that's all. That's never going to work. And you can tell by that those freckles were drawn on. Here's the thing: if somebody draws in their freckles, like here's how to get rid of freckles, all they have to do is wash them off. So never take advice from that kind of situation. Ridiculous. Right, how much more can I stand? Should we stop? No, let's stop. Okay, well. That's them. That's them. If this is your first time seeing them, that's who they are. That's what they're all about. So let me know. Don't try any of these at home. But let me know if you've tried them. Feel free to tag me on Instagram in some ridiculous hacks that you see. Just at me. No need to comment. Just at me. Thank you so much for joining me. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please consider subscribing also. I will see you very soon. Don't do any 5-minute crafts hacks. Bye.